when it comes to designing your product or making your product, it really has to be beautiful pa rin talaga. So no, my goal, I always say this to my team, no matter what, our products should speak for itself. Like, what if it's displayed lang on a table and we cannot tell them, oh, it's made from plastic waste or textile waste. Parang, what first impression pa lang, the customer should say, oh, this is so nice, I want to buy it. And then when you explain it to them that, oh, it's actually made with textile waste and it's made by QC PDLs, then they will buy it even more. But the first rule is make your products really, really beautiful first.
Okay. Founders Only is brought to you by PayMongo, the payment gateway for business growth. PayMongo allows your business to accept online payments from customers through Visa, MasterCard, GCash, GrabPay, Maya, online banking, buy now, pay later, and many more, all with just one online platform. Sign up for free at paymongo.com.
And brought to you by GoTime Bank. GoTime Bank is owned by the Gokong Wei Group, the same companies that brought you brands you love like Cebu Pacific, Robinsons, True Value, Toys R Us, South Star Drug, and many more. GoTime Bank makes next-level banking a breeze with its convenient account opening process. It takes less than 5 minutes to get started via the free app. Plus, get your GoTime Bank Visa card at one of their kiosks for free. Download the GoTime Bank app today and experience the next level of banking. You may visit www.gotime.com.ph for more details. The Hustleshare podcast is sponsored by Shoppable Business, your #1 source for procuring products for your business in the Philippines. Discover authentic branded products online. Shop bulk, save big, and secure authentic products with official sales invoices at Shoppable Business today.
Want to build a better future through entrepreneurship? Villgro Philippines is a gender-smart impact incubator supporting startups tackling the toughest social and climate challenges in Southeast Asia. From funding to mentorship, we back purpose-driven founders making real change happen. Visit villgrophilippines.org or email hello@villgrophilippines.org to learn more.
Welcome to the latest episode of Founders Only, the Hustleshare podcast sequel. And I'm super duper excited because now it's our 3rd edition of the Villgro community spotlight for the Villgro founders. And today is not just another walk in the park. We have 2 amazing founders from the Villgro community that, again, we were supposed to record this, but things got weird. I got sick, so things are better now because we're recording this in person. But without further ado, I don't want to butcher no names. I want to welcome to the show the founders of their own startups. So let's start first with Juvien Galano of Dewaste Solutions and Pamela Mejia of PAMMÉ. Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Welcome to the show, guys. Finally, we're doing this.
Yes.
And thanks for coming over despite the rain.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Again,
Yes.
super duper excited. The past 2 Villgro episodes that we did here in Founders Only was nothing short of amazing, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna top that easily. But before I get carried away, I need to ask you the $1 million question, guys. What's your hustle? So, Pam, you first.
Okay, I can start first. So, my startup is called PAMMÉ. So, what we do is we collect plastic waste and we transform them into new plastic raw materials and into fashion accessories such as bags, phone accessories, beads, and anything fashion.
I love it.
And they're meticulously handcrafted by women, persons deprived of liberty from QC female jail. Yes.
Wow, in Manda?
In QC,
In
Quezon
QC.
City, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
Quezon City.
amazing.
But
So-
we're gonna go to Mandaluyong soon.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Just 15-20 minutes away
Yes.
without traffic, technically. All right,
Yeah.
sounds good. For you naman, what do you think? What is Dewaste, Juvien?
Yes. So my organization is called Dewaste Solutions. So we do sustainable waste management for
Okay.
communities. We build MRFs or materials recovery facilities in barangays, in schools, and then we also train the community to be able to collect segregated waste, and then we also do logistics. So it's an end-to-end solution
I love it.
from
So yeah,
the community to recyclers.
no, I love it. There's a theme now that what we're talking about. Obviously, is making sure that plastic or waste is properly taken care of.
Yeah.
Now I understand why Villgro wanted to pair you guys together.
Yes.
But before we get carried away and talk about, what you're doing now, every single startup founder or every founder that's been on Hustleshare did not magically become the founders that they are now. We all went through a tough hustle prior to this. And I need you guys to buckle up real quick because we typically do this on Hustleshare.
Yeah.
But we borrowed it for founders only today.
Okay.
Because we're going to have to ride the Hustleshare Time Machine. Oh, shit. And we're here.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll start with you, Juvien, right? So prior to Dewaste, two things I want to find out is what was it like growing up and who were the very first influences to hustling that you remember to what you do now for Dewaste?
Okay. So I came from a marginalized background.
Mhm.
So I used to live in Malabon along the river, Malabon River. I think that's what they call it.
Wow. Near Obando.
Not really. You're making things up.
No, my bad. Near Nabotas pala. My bad.
Yes, exactly.
Nabotas. Sorry
So there you
naman.
go.
Sorry. Pansit. Sorry, I'm just gutom, okay?
Malabon is also like
Okay.
Obando is also close to Malabon. Like
Yun
it's
nga.
right
Oh,
next to it. But like we are much closer to Navotas.
Okay.
Actually.
Malabon,
And the river
Nabotas,
itself.
Obando.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah. I think when I was young, I did not really think about going into entrepreneurship or starting your own company. Startup thing is not a thing back then. But I think it started when out of frustration of like the social problems. Not growing up, like I see a lot of social problems. I came from a slum area, and so I think that's one of the contributing factor of building a social enterprise or a startup like this. But prior to that, I was in a corporate world. And
Okay, so that's what I want to find out. You mentioned you saw the problems, and majority of entrepreneurship always stems from problems that are personal to us.
Yeah.
Because if you're just in it for the money, there's so much more ways that you can make more money aside from entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Please think this through, because this is living life on hard mode. Okay, if you think life is hard, man, you're just trying to mess yourself up if you're gonna do entrepreneurship as a path towards financial freedom, because my God, this is so hard. Okay, but I want to understand Muna before we talk to Pam about PAMMÉ. So for Dewaste, you mentioned that there are problems that you saw, and obviously when you keep saying it and seeing it, and obviously the end game is you want to solve it. What were those problems specifically that you wanted to have an active participation in solving?
Well, growing up, I actually see the waste is like
Tulian
right
River.
there in the river.
Mm.
And when I go out like the community, I also see like a string of waste along that road. I think the road is called C4. I think that's the area. I
Right,
can't remember anymore, but I don't know if they
Did
have a new
Malabon
name.
not pay their garbage collector like Manila is doing now?
I don't want to say anything. I don't know even who's the mayor there at the moment.
Just
But
kidding. Yeah.
hopefully they're doing much better work
Okay,
now.
okay.
But yeah, I think it's pretty generic problem. She's solving a part of it, like turning plastic waste into another product. What we want to do is we want to help the recyclers be able to get feedstock for their products. Whether it's a fashion item, whether it's a manufacturing input, like maybe plastic bottles for beverages or whatever you have there. But I think there's aside from, there's a social problem. Of course, as an entrepreneur, you're looking at the financial, opportunities out there. And I think that's one of the financial opportunities, but also at the same time, personally, now I live in subdivision. Luckily. So
You
there's
don't have to worry about the baha.
yes,
as much
but
anymore.
there's still a problem with waste. Garbage trucks just go around the community and they're collecting not segregated waste. And again, going back to the seeing opportunities in whatever you have there, I see opportunities as well in recovering as much of those raw materials and putting it back to value stream. And so the one is the waste collection in our subdivision is pretty expensive. I don't want to say how much it is, but it's expensive. But also the loss of the value out of the materials that we're throwing out is something that is hard to ignore as well. So there's no one answer to your question,
That's
but I think that's a
complex.
lot of
Right.
contributing factors to, trying to make this thing work and trying to establish this kind of business.
And that's why you need to have multiple solutions, because it's not a
Yeah.
one size fits all. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a psychological problem that people, especially in some areas, I also grew up in the hood, by the way. Oh, I'm done with my whatever. Phew, you flip it, whatever, and that's habits, eh? Right? And then people don't even know, they don't care about segregating and all these things. But before we talk to Pam, one last question. So you mentioned you worked in corporate.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a path that you took. So if you grew up in the slums, I grew up not in the slum naman, lower middle class environment. So I know how to blend in the hood. But I remember having a Filipino dream that this can't be my life forever. I have an opportunity through education to better opportunities that my mom put me through. I got to capitalize, because not a lot of the people that are coming from my background get to have an opportunity even to get better education, get exposure to social mobility, whatever the hell that is, right? What was that? What did the path of, say, the first few hustles that you did through corporate build you through, and what skills did you learn while you were in corporate to help you prepare for this juncture of your life now where you're actually solving e-waste solutions?
But like many corporate slaves, we're looking for ways to get out of that environment.
Right.
But the experience there also helped me a lot. So I used to work for media as well.
Which one?
Can I say the?
Yes, of course. This is we are our own network.
Okay.
Pero
I used to work for MTV Philippines.
MTV, like
MTV.
MTVGs.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, okay,
Yes.
MTV generation. Okay.
I think that was the time of Ann Curtis. That was way back.
Ann Curtis did MTV?
Yes, for a short
This is
while.
after kina Casey na. Casey Montero.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were
I
like the
can't remember.
OGs here.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Casey Montero, Sarah Meyer, Donita Rose.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm old.
Yes.
Before we used to watch music videos for fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Then I also worked for ABS-CBN.
Okay.
I wrote for Maalaala Mo Kaya.
MMK.
Yes, MMK. And then after that, I went to travel.
Sorry,
industry.
I'm gonna have to go on a tangent because this is the biggest question in my life. Are those stories real?
Yeah.
They are real.
What?
They're real.
Okay.
We sift through like lots of letters, like
Okay.
nasa sako sila. Whenever they do caravans, like, for example, a court, a
Okay.
basketball court, people would line up.
Daming waste niya na.
Yes, exactly. Giving their letters. We sift through them. We read the letters one by one. We're looking for like little gems that can be turned into a story.
And are they written the way it's written? Well,
Of
or
course
you
not.
rewrite it na? Dear
Um,
Charo. Like that.
You're at the Chiro.
we sensationalize a bit.
Okay.
But of course, we stay true to the story of the letter sender. We make sure that we do not add like
You don't gloss over,
artifacts of
whatever.
whatever. We put things together in a tight narrative thread, as we want to call it. We don't want to go out of their stories, but they are true.
Wow.
They indeed write their stories. Maybe just a line on a piece of paper, that's more than enough. For example, if we see like an angle to that story or to that sentence, then we'll pursue it. We'll look for that person.
And that's usually the title also that we have to guess at the end of the
Yeah.
The diary.
Yes.
Yan.
Plastic. That's the
Recycle.
recycle. Villgro. That's amazing. So okay, thanks so much. But we now have to go to Pam. So Pam, obviously Pam and PAMMÉ.
Yes.
I thought it was
Pam and Pam.
Pam and Pam. But what was the origin story of you? What were the first few hustles that you remember? And were there any influence that helped you prepare to do PAMMÉ?
Yeah, I love it that we talked about MMK because I was just going to say my hustle origin
Are
was
you wish
very
ko lang?
MMK. No, I was gonna say
Gusto mo ba
very
isulit ko yung
MMK.
story mo?
Okay, dear Charo, what is
Dear
PAMS?
Ate Charo,
Okay.
when I was 11. When I was 11 kasi I'm the eldest of 3 kids and then malayo yung age gaps namin. So they depended on me a lot. So when I was 11, my dad had a financial crisis with his business. And then let's just say from middle class, naging the lowest of middle class kami. And then we were studying in private schools and things like that. So I had to go to shit just to survive a rich private school.
Okay.
But then that really influenced me to become an entrepreneur. So when I was 17, that I was senior high school already. It was kind of expected in that school to celebrate a big 18th birthday party. You know, like in the Philippines, diba? We have debuts and stuff like that. And I was one of the first people to celebrate my 18th birthday party. So when I was 17, I was already into fashion and ukay-ukay. So I told myself, how can I bank on my rich classmates?
Yeah.
So for senior year, I designed this parang bat shirt for Sports Fest and I sold it at 300 pesos each. We're talking about 2007 era, 2007, 2008. I sold it at 300 pesos and long story short, I sold about 250 pieces. So times 300. So I used that to pay for my 18th birthday party. Yay!
Very good.
And then that's when I realized that you can use your talent like for me in fashion and make it into a business that can actually pay for things. And so going to college, I pursued that silk screen printing business in UP. So I sold like I Love UP, University of the Philippines. That was the in thing before, the statement shirts in 2008.
In fairness,
And then-
there's only few schools that do that. Because
Yes,
in
exactly.
UST, wapa else. Okay? Well, there's a few,
Yeah, but
but it's
remember,
not as
like-
UP. Like, people walk
And
around with the
Ateneo
UP and
Lasal
the oblation
also,
here.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then in college, I took a pre-med because my family, so di ba nga naghihirap na kami. We're a family of nurses kasi. So they wanted me to take up nursing. But I took up biology just so I can be a doctor. That was my parang negotiation with my parents. Then after bio of 1 year, I decided to transfer to speech pathology because that has a higher salary than a nurse. But then during my 3rd year, and I had 1 year left, my clothing business was booming. And so the dean of UP College of Allied Medical Professionals, shout out to my
Yung UP
dean.
Manila yan.
Yes, of UP Manila said, why don't you just transfer to fashion if that's where your heart is? And so
Is she your
secretly,
customer?
yeah, she is.
I knew it. Suki.
So secretly, I transferred to UP Diliman to take up clothing tech. And I will always remember my first day because my mom was ironing my med uniform for UP Manila. And then she saw me all dressed up for fashion school and she was like, oh, ba't ganyan suot mo? And I said, Mom? And I started crying. So I was grounded for 3 months. But up until now, that's one of the best decisions of my life. Finally following my... So it took me 7 years to graduate UP. So I was like 3 years delayed because I had to do clothing tech from
Well, you had a
first
booming
year.
business though.
But that gave me, because I already finished my minors from
Correct.
my previous one, that gave me time to do my clothing business. But then during
While
my
you're
4th
still in
year,
school.
yes, while I'm still, so that allowed me to pay for everything. And still yung financial crisis namin as a family was at its peak. So I really needed to hustle with my clothing business to pay for. Like I was the only one in class without a sewing machine until 4th year. Like I graduated without my own machine.
Breadwinner mode.
Yes, as in. And then on my 4th year, we did the thesis on fashion social entrepreneurship. And that opened my mind like, wow, I can actually build a fashion brand with impact.
Okay.
And then that's it. That's how I started it as a fashion social
All right, I'm
entrepreneur.
going to dig deeper here because I was raised by a single mom, only child.
Yeah.
I had greater opportunities before, but I was dicking around in school. I was a class clown. I always got in trouble.
Yeah.
But there was also an epiphany where at one point where, what, my mom, the only thing I wanted to do before was I wanted to be a varsity basketball player.
Yeah.
I only got to do that during high school, college. I wasn't good enough anymore. So I had to pivot, had to find where I was good at. I became a working student, full-time call center agent.
Wow.
That's how I learned how to speak like this.
Yeah.
I did not speak like this before.
Okay.
But I learned a lifelong skill. But that's also what I learned. Two things: how hard it is to make money to put yourself through school,
Yes.
and that also humbled me. And that second is said, shit, if I'm gonna work in corporate,
Yeah.
how long will it take for me to achieve my Filipino dream with my mom, which is to buy her a house? See, you finished my sentence because every one of us wants that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I have authority problems.
Okay.
I don't like being told what to do. So you know what? And then there's this Go Negosyo book that came out, the first one.
Yes.
Sinamani Villa,
Yes,
blah, blah, blah.
yes, yes.
I want to be an entrepreneur. But
Yeah.
I don't have puhunan. I didn't know. The only savings I had during the call center stint was 30K.
Okay.
I don't know, Jack. So I know what it takes and I started doing my side business, my first startup, actually, tech startup, while I was still in school. But my whole perspective was different. I was a different guy in school because everybody else, uy, tara, Dota. Uy, tara, let's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just so happens my startup was a nightlife app. So it's still, you hit two birds in one stone. I get the gimmick per se. Pero my whole lens was different.
Okay.
What I want to find out, Pam, is that what's the mindset of a student that is forced to become an adult? And what are those hardest times that you remember where, because you always feel FOMO.
Yeah. Correct.
Shit. Well, and sometimes it would result in self-pity.
Yes.
A lot of times, like,
Agree.
you know what? You have no choice. This is the card you were dealt with.
Yeah.
Step the fuck up.
Correct.
What
correct.
was that like?
I think okay, so I love astrology.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn.
Madam Auring in the house.
I'm a super Capricorn, so very career driven and workaholic.
December,
ako.
yeah.
January.
My mom is a Capricorn.
I'm a January Capricorn. I'm very proud of that. So anyway, back to your question. For me at that time, so like remember I told you guys I was still studying in that rich private school. So I was telling myself,
Which school? Describe.
Okay, St. Paul Pasig.
St. Paul
Yes.
Pasig. Maraming mayaman
Shout
dyan.
out. Thank you, St. Paul, for molding me.
Yeah. Pauline yan forever.
Yes, but then everyone is super rich and
Yes.
I belong to the popular barkada. So parang ako, ang sinasabi ko nun, my mindset should be, if I'm the poorest, then but I should be the best in everything else. Like academic, extracurricular, ako dapat yung bida sa play, everything. So parang what I cannot give financially, I should be able to give everything else to be the best in other aspects. And that continued from high school until college na parang but then I also prioritize my social life naman. It's not like I should be like a bookworm or what. So everything else was in balance. And also I would have to say one contributing factor that I was able to really enjoy everything else even if we had financial crisis. I had really good friends who understood my financial background. So like, you know, for example, like you were saying, yung mga gimmick, like used to go to the fourth strip, embassy.
Yeah.
Nakikita na yung age.
It's gone. It's completely leveled out.
And because we're all from Pasig, all of my barkadas, they would alternate in, kunyari, hatid sundo, just for me to be there. So I invested on good friendships, good friends. Even if I had, I was in this financial crisis, I made it because of that. Yeah.
And that's a super skill because what people don't understand, and this is what the oddity about being taught in school. In school, you're being taught to compete against everybody else.
Yes.
Every one of your classmates is your competition. Now, there is a race that you should be valedictorian, salutatorian. But what people don't understand, in real life, it's a constant problem-solving process. And the way to win it is through your network.
Yeah, good relationships.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that translates well in business because you cannot win alone. It is a team sport. Success is a team sport. And the more people are actively helping you out, because there's always going to be enemies too, you know that.
Yes.
then you have a better shot at making it in the end. Let's take our first break, and when we come back, we will now talk about after they told us their corporate background or their early hustles. We will now talk about how they were able to create both their startups. Well, let's talk about that more after the break. Hey hustlers, are you tired of bank transfer fees and low interest rates on your savings? Say hello to GoTime Bank. GoTime Bank offers interest rates 50x higher than traditional banks. Enjoy this rate on your savings. No minimum amount, no deposit caps, and no tasks or missions to complete. With GoTime Bank, you can make quick and secure transfers to other banks with 3 bank transfers per week. Plus, earn Go Rewards points and redeem them as cash with a simple tap in the GoTime Bank app. Experience the next level of banking with GoTime Bank. Download the app now or visit www.gotime.com.ph to experience next level banking. It's GoTime! Hey hustlers, PayMongo is your payment gateway for business growth. With PayMongo, you can accept online payments from your customers through Visa and MasterCard, debit and credit cards, GCash, Maya, GrabPay, online banking, BNPL, installments, and many more. All with just one platform. For business owners, online payment collection used to be such a pain. Long negotiations and paperwork, complex developer docs, and having to gather all these proofs of payment from your customers would be a serious drag in your operations. Now with just one partner, you can simplify all of that and focus on growing your business. PayMongo's story showcases the resilience of Filipino businesses in today's digital economy. During the pandemic, they became a lifeline to countless businesses by helping them go online quickly, serve their customers, and generate revenue. They have since grown exponentially and now support thousands of businesses from SMEs to venture-backed startups and even the most established enterprises in the country. PayMongo's products allow you to accept all types of payments with or without a website, and they continue to expand into more streamlined financial services. So sign up for free today. Visit paymongo.com to get your business activated in 1 week or less. And we're back from the break. We are still with Juvien and Pam, not Pammy, who are, again, the waste people, not the waste people. They're the one who clean up our shit. Because you guys are not good with your mess, okay? But again, they found sustainable businesses to get this done. I'll start first with Pam when we left off. So you gave us such a great background over this. You're a fashionista forever. Styling is life. Make sure that everything is on point.
Yeah.
My wife's a former stylist. Kasi,
I see.
and she leveled me up. Before I didn't matchy. Now I'm like, I gotta make sure that the girl
Yeah, I like it.
approves of it. Okay, okay. But Pam, I want to understand. So you could have just stayed in your lane. Now, okay,
Yeah.
fashion. Let's just call it. Fashion can be one of the biggest contributors to waste.
Yes.
So there's so many. There's so many.
Textile waste.
No textiles, but there is so many documentaries I've
Okay,
watched.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Of where our old clothes end up. Apparently,
Yes.
they end up in Africa.
Yes. Or here, actually, in the
Dito rin
Philippines.
pala. Okay.
Yeah, that's why madami tayong ukay. Yeah.
But those are discarded clothes. And just so happens that we make money out of it. Also, they're in Africa. But
Yes.
technically, that is waste.
Yes.
You could have stayed in just making premium products.
Yeah.
I want to understand 2 things. Walk me through what happened through college. How do you triple down on
Yes.
your fashionista, fashion entrepreneurship? And where did sustainability and, recycling come to the picture?
Okay, perfect. I love that we actually talked about ukay because that really impacted my whole career.
Yep.
So in college, like what I mentioned earlier, I did a thesis on fashion social entrepreneurship. And back then, it was still novelty. In fact, I had a hard time researching because there were
Walang
so
ChatGPT
little.
eh.
Yeah, and I really go through books,
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's when I realized that, again, fashion can be used as a force for good.
Yeah.
And so I started with a problem that I can find at home. We have so many old clothes and usually it ends up as basahan or you donate it. But when you donate it to typhoon victims, hindi rin nila masusuot. Because usually these are gowns, costumes.
Yeah, it's dilapidated.
Yes, there's actually another research that says na the old clothes that we donate does not actually help So, but that's for another
Yeah,
study.
correct.
So anyway, so I said, okay, so what can I do with my old clothes? And so I thought, why don't I turn them into shoes and bags? And so my first ever social enterprise, it's called Phoenix, like the Phoenix bird, but it's spelled as PHI because it's made in the Philippines. So I
There's a
turned
girl
my
group Phoenix right now.
really?
PHINIX.
Oh, same. That's the same.
Okay, you
Same
should sue them.
label.
Okay. They're like being the beanie.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Sorry. Meron na kayong
What? Excuse
kalaban.
me, 2015 pa ako.
Or join the
Trademark
group
mo
na
ba yan?
Anyway, so
Mhm.
I had it made in Marikina, and then when I had the samples made,
Mhm.
I said, wow, this could be my business. So right after college graduation, I launched Phoenix.
Mm.
I did it in parallel with my corporate job. So I did remote work. I was a social media manager for US companies for about 4 years. I did
Wow.
that. So US time, tas
But you're
doing
making
Phoenix.
USD though.
Yes.
No
yes.
taxes.
But
Ayan.
and then
Mm.
I used that para, to support my family and the
Love it.
business. And then so I did this for 8 years until 2019. I got a scholarship to study my master's in London. And then the pandemic hit. Yeah, I studied in London College of Fashion. It's the number one fashion
Fafia.
school. And
Okay. Fafia.
yes, and can you
Mm.
actually i-share ko lang, parang it was very humbling because imagine I had a hard time paying my high school tuition, my college tuition.
Just ngayon,
And then
pounds.
London. But then the pandemic hit. And then when I realized also, it was so hard to scale Phoenix because we were studying in business school. So they were saying, how will you scale up
Mm.
your business? For example, even SM, they were so interested in buying Phoenix shoes, but they want 10,000 pairs of the same model. But then how would you do that? We're working with old clothes. So it's so
Correct.
hard to scale. So that's when I got inspired of why not, instead of using textile waste, let's do plastic waste, because then I can recycle different shades
True.
of violet plastic or black plastic, but it will end up as the same.
Endless supply
Bead.
pa.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Actually, endless talaga. So, when I came back to the Philippines, I still worked for the government. I worked for NEDA and the OVP. VP Lenia. Just so you guys
Which
know.
one? Maybe
Just to be
share.
clear, VP Leni
Not
tayo.
Mary Gay Spiatos.
And then
Okay.
after
Okay.
her stint na, after she ended na her term, that's when I went full-time with PAMMÉ.
Okay.
And this time, I decided to own it with my name. So the reason why it's called PAMMÉ, Pamela Mejia,
Mm.
because I didn't want to call it Pamela Mejia because I feel like it's too Chanel. Parang ganon. So I said, let's just go with PAMMÉ.
Mm.
So that's when I started with PAMMÉ. And it was a whole world for me. I'm new to plastic recycling.
Right.
But I'm so happy because I'm one of the pioneers of using plastic waste in the fashion industry.
Okay. So, okay. I've seen this. I'm a Nike loyalist forever.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever. I can wear whatever here, but at my feet, Matic, it will always be a swoosh.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've also seen the shift
Yes.
lately that a lot of the shoes that I like are actually recycled plastic.
Yes.
And it's hard. Before, people, I don't know if people cared or not, but how did you make plastic or recycled material sexy when they know? Because before, let's just say, let's call it what it is. Before, there's previous attempts to make it look like, oh, I have a bayong made of
correct.
whatever, di ba? Na,
Yes.
uy, yun pa yung katas ng pure gold.
Yes, yes,
Whatever back
Or
then.
the Zesto.
Oh, the Zesto, right?
Yes.
How did you make it sexy enough that it's still fashion?
Yes.
It's still pretty.
Yes.
And you have this endless supply of, again, textile or
Plastic
or
waste, yeah.
raw materials that
Mm.
now exists.
I think from a fashion perspective, or like in any business, when it comes to designing your product or making your product, it really has to be beautiful pa rin talaga. So no, my goal, I always say this to my team, no matter what, our products should speak for itself. Like, what if it's displayed lang on a table and we cannot tell them, oh, it's made from plastic waste or textile waste? Parang, what first impression pa lang, the customer should say, oh, this is so nice, I want to buy it. And then when you
Impulse buy.
explain it to
Yeah.
them that,
Mhm.
oh, it's actually made with textile waste and it's made by QC PDLs, then they will buy it even more. But the first rule is make your products really, really beautiful first.
Okay. Last question before we go back to Juvien.
Yeah.
Okay. Supply.
Supply.
So, okay, I want to understand. You
Yeah.
know how to sell it. You've always been able to do that, right? Regardless of ukay, whatever
Yeah.
that is, or built from scratch. But there's a lot of plastic waste. But again, they're unsegregated, kalat-kalat.
Yes.
And how do you even make sure that they're even ready to be turned into clothes or other materials?
Mm-mm.
How did you solve that? Supplier mo ba siya? Or how,
So,
Montek.
Ayan.
Montek na
Alright.
maraming na kaming
Ayan.
pag-uusap.
Okay. No, how were you able to get the supply
Yeah,
needed
of the
for
plastic
your
waste.
products?
Okay, so right now, PAMMÉ is working with one type of plastic. It's called polypropylene. So it's plastic number 5. So if you notice it with like on our bottles, diba,
What
may
is plastic?
triangle.
I only know Mambo number 5. Sorry,
like, for
I know you
example,
understand that where you're from
PET
MTV.
is
Okay.
one, right? PET is one. Tama ba?
Yes,
Yeah, so
PET
this
is
is
one.
PET is one.
The
So
cap is HDPE.
yeah,
just
HDPE,
for
which
the
is
audience.
2 or 3. So just so you guys know, every plastic meron pa siyang category. So we work with plastic number 5.
The ones in school before, yung mga plastic dun, what do you call that?
But that's still
No,
different.
the plastic may mga classmate mong plastic. What do you,
Oh.
Sa kapitbahay din, Mel.
Marites. It's
Ayan,
called
yes. Maritas plastic. Just being sorry.
So right
It's a
now-
joke. It's a joke. Okay.
we work with plastic number 5, which is polypropylene or PP. And then when PAMMÉ started, for us, the most convenient suppliers were actually the LGUs because they already had a plastic collection program, diba? So for example, our first one was...
Dewaste daw dapat kasi.
I know, but we only met a year after.
Oh, sorry.
So
There's a deal happening here. After this, there will be a contract signing. Okay.
MOA.
Mm.
So, for example, the first LGU we work with, it's Antipolo. So, they already had a programmer and they categorized the plastic waste. And then they even categorized it by color. So, and then they sold it to
Oy.
us per kilo.
Pure gold green.
So, yes, like
NBT
that.
in purple.
Yeah, something like that. So, we bought it for like 30 pesos per kilo. So that gave us a very convenient way to collect our textile waste. Actually, what's very difficult for us when it comes to supply is number 1, public donations because they like donating dirty plastics. So on our first run, they were very willing to donate their plastic waste, but they're all dirty. Imagine like donating plastic ketchup bottles. Like, why do I have to clean it? So that's like an additional business cost for us. So we actually stopped collecting private donations or like household donations. So now we just partner first with LGUs and
the
people
LGUs
like
clean
them.
it up?
Yes, they do.
Puta
And
naman. Okay.
yeah, and also brands like big companies who actually have
Ready for recycling.
plastic waste. But our challenge now is because we're still a startup, we don't have the big warehouse to keep all these plastic waste.
That's where Priya comes in. Ayan, there you go.
Yes, Priya. She knows this.
Ninang Priya. There you go.
She knows this that we
Mhm.
need that because, for example, one big company, they want to donate 1 ton of plastic waste to us every month, and we're like, wait, we don't have the capacity and the storage space. But that's a
Bigyan
good
niyo sa
problem.
amin.
Ayan.
Yeah.
Ayan.
But that's a good problem,
I
ah.
love
That's
it.
a good
This is
problem.
becoming a business transaction.
I know, right?
Okay, alright.
Free ba yan?
Yeah,
Free?
there.
Ay-
Yes,
Okay.
free.
All right, now, Juvien, I want to go back to you. So, obviously, Pam told us this amazing story. I'm pretty sure you have a great story. So, obviously, coming from corporate, you're in media, storytelling, great stories that make us cry every Saturday night and whatnot. When did you scratch the itch and how did you end up wanting to do Dewaste? Because you had a personal calling. You grew up in the neighborhood. Tuliahan River is the epicenter of in Indonesia. There's a river that's similar. It's called Citarum.
Mhm.
Citarum River. Oh my God, one of the most polluted rivers
Mm.
in the world.
Mm-mm.
And guess who's the top 1 and 2 producer of ocean plastic in the world?
Them.
Indo and
And
Philippines. Very good. Okay, so no, I want to understand why this. Your media is solid. I'm in the media space now.
Yeah.
It's addictive
Hmm.
because stories will never die.
Mhm.
Where did the itch come from and how did you basically take the jump to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so kung siya ay nag-London,
Ayan.
ako naman ay nag-Estonia.
Yan.
Hindi,
Okay.
so, pero prior to that, dahil gusto kong maghanap ng something else to do
Right.
outside of the just making money for my corporate landlords.
Mhm.
I went
From
to
Tita Charo.
an NGO working in family planning, neonatal, prenatal healthcare. And so that's where my kind of, I don't know how you call it, like the purpose driven mindset
Yeah.
Okay.
came in. And so I spent 3-4 years there before thinking of ways how I can impact more the space of social development. Back then it was called Millennium Development Goals pa.
Yeah.
And so
okay.
I was looking for a course similar to that. And then I found this place called Tallinn or Estonia,
Yeah.
where they have this very beautiful city, but it's also close to nature. Something like a breath of fresh air, kumbaga, a change of lifestyle, a change of environment, while also thinking of changing the landscape of something that I can
Got it.
impact.
Mm.
Back then, hindi ko pa alam kung ano yun.
Yeah.
Basta I just wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And so I spent a couple of years there, and I was thinking of Thesis
How
from
many
the very
Filipinos are in
beginning.
Estonia even?
Huh?
May Filipinos ba sa Estonia?
Funny enough, the Christmas song that they're playing in their they call it Square,
Okay.
is actually Filipino
Jose
song.
Marichan?
Yes. Jose Marichan. Pasko na Sinta Ko. I don't know who the singer is. Basta, yung mga children's song
Okay.
na Christmas song, yun yung nagpa-play. I can share the video with you later.
What? This is something new.
Yes, that's very weird, but it
Okay.
was like surprising. But anyway, going back, so I was already thinking of my thesis for my masters. And back then there was like a talk about reusing, kasi maraming structure sa Estonia ang Russian
Yeah, the
regime
Soviet
pa.
Union. Yep.
Yeah.
And the way they talk about reuse is actually reusing the buildings and not breaking it down, dismantling it. And so that was kind of the maybe part of the influence that got me thinking of maybe there's something I can do around reusing in the Philippines. And so I was thinking of recycling. There are a lot of innovations out there, like materials, something related. Mixing two things together would make another thing.
Yeah.
And so the thesis is called Creating Protective Space for Recycling in the Philippines.
Love it.
Because a lot of enterprises here, especially startups, are struggling on trying to emerge and mature and develop before being kicked out by the incumbent companies.
Yep.
And so that was like the idea behind the Dewaste. I wrote the paper and got me really interested in the topic. Because I think there's the problem around just trying to stay alive for these startups is really big.
Yep.
So I was thinking of what kind of policy should we write or focus on or legislate so that these small companies can emerge and thrive and develop and like can compete in the market.
Okay.
But in recycling space, because I think a lot of the odds are stacked against recyclers. The cost of inputs is really high, like the machines, buying from households na kala nila yayaman sila. Kapag binenta nila yung mga plastic nila, dapat malaki yung kikitaan nila.
All
Stuff
the
like that.
1.5s
Yeah.
that your mom stores at the back. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So, ayun, siguro yun yung seed that developed into the Dewaste. But I knew back then that there's real opportunity in recycling and waste management space because a lot of countries are already talking about it that time. Hindi pa lumalabas nun yung EPR law,
Yes.
but it's already a bill here in the Philippines that time. And the conversations around plastic waste management in the global space, like in UN, in World Economic Forum, ganyan, syempre exposed tayo, international tayo. Diba? Europe tayo. Charot. But I'm exposed to those kinds of information.
Right.
And so I use that as really a seed sa idea na gusto kong itayo. And yan, naging waste management idea na siya. Pero I knew there's a activity going on in this space, but also there's money.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I never thought of investing in Dewaste monetarily because I know there's a lot of floating money, as I call it, out there.
Grants, whatever.
Grants, especially. And so I test the market. I wrote an application for a grant opportunity, and all of a sudden I got accepted, and then I got the one with few zeros.
Nice.
And so I think that was like the start of something na I think this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
And then I tried another grant application, and then I got it, and then another one, and then another one. Pero I really don't know the direction of Dewaste, honestly. I just want to solve it.
Yeah.
But solving it and making it sustainable, making money out of it is a totally different story.
Right.
Correct.
I know how to collect waste.
Yan.
I don't know how to make money out of it.
Okay.
Again, like
Yan, may bumibili.
yun na. So ngayon pala ako nakakita ng mga kliyente, mga suppliers, ganyan. But yeah, long story short, nagsimula lang siya sa thesis paper, and then I pursued it, and then now it's here, and we're still struggling, by the way.
I want to harp on one thing, because this is sometimes what's missing with Filipinos. Filipinos are the most madiskarte. I would take any Filipino against anyone who, literally if just making it work. Gagawa ng paraan, right? Sometimes our own curse is that we think too small. That we just accept things as it is. Gawa na lang ng paraan. But what I love about the common denominator about what you guys do is you guys expose yourself to foreign thinking, and you brought it back. Because the other opposite of that is that a lot of Filipinos, when they go overseas, brain drain.
Yeah.
They don't even want to call themselves Filipino. I'm not from the Philippines. I am from Estonia. There you go, right? But I love that the country still pulled you back. But I want to find out one thing, because you have this exposure. You did that from the London school, and then yours is Estonia. Well, why did you choose to still go back and solve the problems here? Because, again, you could have just easily be one of those people na will come here, bisita every once and twice a week, twice a year, di ba? You give balikbayan boxes, but you're off the hook.
Yeah.
Right? You're off the hook. You knew how to take grants. You didn't have to be here, right?
Sure.
But what pulled you back? Because that's where this becomes irrational. As rational as we are.
Yeah.
The reason why we do our shit is because it's personal to us and it's irrational.
Marami na matatalino dun. Di na nila kailangan.
Right. No, but what was it? What was the pull, and why did you choose to come back? You knew how to make grants. You knew how to take grants. You didn't even know how to propagate it from the start.
Yeah.
But it starts from you wanting to solve and be an active participant in solving this. Why?
I think I went to Estonia abroad for one reason. And I think that is before I left the NGO is because I want to contribute to this country. And I think that stayed, luckily that stayed in me.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would have stayed there.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of opportunity here in the Philippines of creating impact, creating change more than those countries out there where we were. And I think the kumbaga sa multiplicator tama ba yun?
Okay. So let's bring it up, man. That's where I get nervous.
Nung impact is much higher here compared to incremental dun sa ibang bansa, which is already developed, which already has good infrastructure, which already has the behavior that supports the change. But here in the Philippines, if you left it if you leave it like this, and no intervention at all, or at least yung sinasabi mga brain drain, pa konti ng po konti ang mga taon taking risk for the Philippines, for their country, it's going to be hard to change the society. And so I think I stayed true to my intention of going abroad to learn something and coming back here to apply that. But of course, again, my roots is here, and also the experience I've had when I was a child back in the slum. I think that changed me forever in a way. I think I have now the responsibility, now that I'm in a better position, to help the country, to pay it forward.
All right, I love it. Now let's take our last break, and when we come back, we'll now talk about obviously how they're able to grow their businesses and what's next for them, and of course, how did Villgro help them both? And Priya is going to help them out along with the Villgro team. We'll talk about that more after the break. If you're building a climate smart or socially inclusive business, you don't have to do it alone. Villgro Philippines is a gender-smart impact incubator supporting bold entrepreneurs across the Philippines and Southeast Asia who are solving our most urgent problems, from climate change to healthcare access to food security. Through a mix of funding, mentorship, and community, Villgro Philippines helps early-stage founders strengthen their business models, scale their impact, and raise the capital they need. Whether you're an enterprise ready to grow or an ecosystem ally ready to co-invest or collaborate, let's build a better world together. Visit villgrophilippines.org. That's villgrophilippines.org, or reach out at hello@villgrophilippines.org. And we're back in the break. We're still with Juvien and Pam. Then told us the amazing journey that they have. But now let's go straight to the jugular. You now have these businesses. I want to start with you with e-waste first. You said you didn't know where to go. At least you have mastered one thing that a lot of startup founders struggle. Most people go into entrepreneurship without access to capital.
Yeah.
And the type of moves you can do when you don't have much capital is very piecemeal. But if you persist enough, obviously you're going to get there. But you had this capital at the get-go, which is great. What did you do next in order to really put whatever you put in the grant into work?
Dewaste is actually a long build. I would like to put it that way, because the problem is too big to be solved by just one type of solution. Yeah. And so Actually, I have to admit, we're doing some piecemeal work here. We first build some prototypes of infrastructure. If we put something out there, will people come and donate, deposit their recyclables? If we have logistics, can we now make money out of selling the raw materials to recyclers? So we're trying to put the pieces together and trying to see if there's a big scheme that we're trying to deploy. It's the end-to-end solution from source to recyclers. The grants help us test those ideas. But now we're lucky that a lot of organizations, forward-thinking organizations, are betting on us, betting on the solution that we're trying to put together. Yeah. But now it's time to go big. So the previous implementations are already in barangays, in small communities, but now our mindset is now, how can we scale this up and try to influence the entire Philippines, but not only entire Philippines, but also the region, hopefully. And so we are already looking at technologies. How can we do that? Because waste management, it's so labor intensive. Someone really has to pick it up. Yeah. No app can just do that. Press a button and mawawala na yung basura mo. And so that's what we're trying to figure out. Is how can we scale up our operation that we can implement it in any type of situation, far-flung areas, island communities, those that are far from the recycling centers or recycling factories. So that is the next step. But to answer your question, the funds that we got are really only for testing the ideas.
For
But
iteration,
I think
yeah.
that proved a lot, and that gave us a lot of confidence to continue and look for more money.
Now, where does Villgro come in, help you guys scale up? Because obviously, again, what you guys are solving is super complex. Even if you in your best try, you can only get to so much. So obviously, Villgro helps out. But where does Villgro help out here? And then what other help? What types of people can help you move the needle further along? Because you'd be surprised sometimes that a lot of people that listen to Hustleshare and Founders Only use it as a means to actually find entrepreneurs to help out.
Yes.
I just had one.
Help us.
Yeah, and for Pam too. Kasi, like for example, I had a founder that just recently guested on Hustleshare. And this is where I get the kick. This is where it feels good for me. When I do this because I want to pay it forward. Because there's nobody in the Philippines that's been doing this for the past 6 years, consistently, week in and week out, to feature the best founders that's out there. Again, this wasn't started out by me because I had a mentor who told me at the very start when I was just starting out. He told me that if I ever become successful, I shouldn't pay him back. I should pay it forward. And I felt like this was something that comes in naturally for me. As you can see, I'm madaldal, right? But if we can document this and share it to the world, the whole world benefits. But yun, I want to know what that is for you. Because Villgro obviously moves the needle, but it won't move the needle for everything. What other help, what does Villgro help you out on? And what other help can we actively do with you and for you in order to really solve this behemoth of a problem that you're trying to solve?
Yeah. Actually, when I was starting, akala ko pera lang kailangan ko.
Ah,
And it will solve everything.
dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Ubus
feel
na.
the same.
Hindi. So, I thought I just need grants.
Yeah.
But as the organization matures and as we get exposed to, the ins and outs of starting a company, especially like a social enterprise, we need more than that.
Yeah.
Villgro helped us establish that, or provided the network for us, meeting Pam, meeting other entrepreneurs. Like for example, the situation earlier, we need supplies, we need PPs.
Yeah.
We can clean them for you, but we
You
need the
know.
supplies.
Okay.
Um,
Guys, can you prepare the
Please write
MOA
the MOA,
right now?
please.
Okay, thank you.
but yeah, so we need network. We also need talents for the company to be more efficient. There's no manual for building this kind of startup. There's not a lot of startups related to waste management, to recycling,
Yep.
but also at the same time, the skill set that we need is totally different. Like someone who can talk to waste worker, to scavengers, but also someone who can talk to a CEO of a big company,
Yep.
to a mayor, to a congressman.
Yep.
And also knows how to write well, but also how to bakla the community members, diba?
Yep.
Yung kayang bolahin. So,
Yep.
it's so difficult to find that
It
personality.
looks like you have to develop that too.
Exactly. So that's one of the struggle, how to develop these people internally. And also hopefully we can find that kind of personality.
Just
I don't know.
throw it to
Yeah.
the universe.
So,
The
yes,
universe
so
will give it
now
back to you.
you're
Yeah.
asking how you can help us. Yes, we're looking for talents. We're looking for team members who can work with us, trying to solve this problem. We don't have specific job description for you. We'll figure it out together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And be an active participant. Now, Pam, for PAMMÉ, obviously, again, now I understand why they bunch you together. Right? It's like, okay, this is a general theme, but this is like match made in heaven. The universe conspired again. Two things I want to find out. So obviously now you made this pivot. And what I love about what you're doing is you also found a way to pay it forward to our ates and
Yes.
nanays that deserve a second chance. How
Correct.
did that come into the picture?
So, super grateful for Mayor Joy Belmonte of QC. So, she actually did a trial program with fashion designers. So, she invited 40 fashion designers to visit Quezon City Female Jail. And her objective was for us to have our products made by the women inside the QC female
Where's
jail.
the QC? Is it in QC?
In Cap Karangal, in Maginhawa. Super
got
near.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, long story short, out of the 40 fashion designers that came in to that program, I was the only one who actually continued. So, let's go!
Galing.
Super proud of PAMMÉ. That's why the QCLGU loves me.
Ayan.
But
Okay.
then,
I grew up in Kamuning, by the way.
yeah. Really?
Yep. I'm a Kamuning boy. That's
I
the
love
hood that I
that.
grew up in.
Doon ako nagpapatahe, by the way. Super supporting all the mananahis of
Market
Kamuning.
represent.
Yeah.
There you go. Mhm.
So that's yun yung origin story of how we actually partnered with QC Female Gel. And because other companies saw that, for example, some foundations of the big brands,
Yeah.
they want to partner with us now to work with other jails. So that's why I said earlier, we're gonna work now with Correctional Women Institute. This
Got it.
time with a different product now. Because with QC Female Gel, these are all bags. Now we're gonna shift to another product, but also still using our plastic beads pa rin.
Wow, that's amazing. So, okay, now you have this, and
Mm.
you've always known how to make money off of fashion.
Mhm.
How were you able to then grow PAMMÉ to where it is now? Because you now have supply, great. You have product development, great. At the end of the day, budol is the key,
Yes.
which you've mastered since early in school. How are you able to then sell this product and
Okay.
turn it into a real profitable
Yes.
business?
I think I'm gonna go then with his Juvien's journey because I like the ingredients that you just mentioned, but the last ingredient is still money.
Yes.
So what I did is very similar to him. I joined a global business competition and from 900 applicants to 28 finalists, I was the only Filipino finalist, and then the winner was
Big
me.
winner. The big winner.
Yes, BBB. I'm
Ayan.
really the big winner.
Thanks, Koya. There you go.
And to be fair, I was the only one who presented the concept. PAMMÉ was still a concept then because I didn't have the money.
Yeah,
I needed the money. And so it was small.
Mhm.
Well, it was $10,000. So 570,000 pesos in 2023. And I bought 3 machines agad after that
Yeah,
and produced our first collection. And then I think the next big step that I did right was doing the launching in a really popular space, which is Artefino in Rockwell. So my
Yup.
target market is there. And like what I said again earlier, people love the whole look of the product. It was very beautiful. But then when they
Pang
found
Rockwell.
out, yes,
Yeah.
very pang Rockwell. Very alta.
And by the way, if you don't know where that spot is, it's right across fucking Rolex.
Yes.
Okay? So, bili nga ako dito and I'll get my Rolex.
Yes,
There you go.
correct. We're talking about people who don't ask me the price of the bag.
Yeah.
Ganon. Ganon
I like
sila.
that.
I like this. I want this in 2 colors. Like
Mm.
that. So, it was just 4 days and our sales was 570,000. So like, the
Alright
grant
na.
and the sales were the
Panis.
same. 4 days.
Grabe lang.
So,
The power of Rockwell.
yes, the power.
Makapag-Rockwell na.
I'm going
Makapag-exhibit
there
nga
later, by the
doon.
way. But not to sell anything.
Yeah.
To have meetings. Okay.
Yeah, but still you cannot, what I've learned actually through Villgro also, that I cannot rely on one specific pop-up market for us to live. So I still did all the grants and all, but now we're focusing really on being in SM malls,
Yeah.
Ayala malls. Hopefully, I'm so happy we also caught their attention because they were the ones who actually approached us. Again,
Nice.
this goes back to creating a beautiful product, but they loved it even more because of the impact. Yeah, so I didn't even have to speak or anything. They just found out about us and our
Okay.
impact.
Now, it's
Yeah.
your reputation and the product speaking for itself.
Yes.
But Pam, I want to understand also how Villgro was able to help you guys out. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a common theme here, but every single startup that I've guested here from the Villgro community, they've left a profound mark on. How are they able to help you level up?
Yes. So actually, this is so funny. We still have an ongoing program with them right now. On our last checkup call, I was telling Priya and the whole Villgro team, I was telling them, I feel like you guys are my therapist. And I actually had a really good cry because I was sharing to them a very significant loss with PAMMÉ. We lost a lot of money in this one grant. Like, so what happened was we were promised of a grant. So we borrowed money and then our thinking was they will just reimburse the expenses.
Shit.
And then, pinol nila yung grant. So, sobrang laking loss nun for us.
And then you're left holding a bag, may utang ka pa
Yes,
bigla.
and
What the
sobrang
fuck?
the mothers of our barangay who were collecting all the trash for us, I felt like I let them down. So I was carrying. I'm a solo founder. I was carrying all this burden to myself for 3 months. It happened Christmas. Imagine Christmas
Don't
up
worry,
to Feb.
while you were doing that, someone in Estonia is listening.
Please. And
Also,
then
Exporter na.
yes, exactly.
Hello?
So I was sharing it to the whole.
Gano'ng karami kailangan mo?
I was sharing it to the whole Villgro team, and again, I was crying, no? And then everybody, they were so supportive. And even after the call, Priya messaged me, like long message, like,
Yeah.
so I love that because for the longest time, other than business opportunities, Villgro was such a safe space because, like what you guys said, startup life is so competitive. And what I also noticed as, I was climbing the ladder, people will not be happy for you. And that's what I love about Villgro. I don't know, maybe they're all girls, but a lot of them, diba? But it's such a safe space for you to thrive and make mistakes. So, I love you, Villgro.
There you go.
guys deserve PAMMÉ bag.
I love it. Ayan. No, but that's absolutely correct. Because here's the sad part, especially in Filipino culture.
Yeah.
A lot of people will congratulate you online. Pero secretly, they're rooting for you to fail.
Yes.
That's
As in
normal.
waiting. Ganon.
Me, I'll share my old piece. Before, I was guilty of this. And it's only probably in 2023 when we almost died in Podcast Network Asia.
Okay.
When I fully understood the game. Because it's easy to see how many people are fake rooting for you when you're winning.
Yeah.
I'd say a vast majority of them, like, fuck you, I want to pull you down. But you know who your real friends are when your back's against the wall on your last heartbeat.
Yes.
How many people will go there?
Correct.
And then I realized, shit, okay, why am I trying to impress people that are rooting for me to fail anyway?
Yeah.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
I actually want you to think that I'm failing.
Yeah.
And then sa huli, pulaga.
Yeah. Surprise.
Everybody,
Yeah.
you thought I was dead.
Yeah.
We weren't dead. Because one thing that I always, I now strive to be, and I fully understood this the last 2 years lang. Everybody in the startup community wants to become a unicorn, the next shiny superstar,
Yeah.
the American Idol.
Yeah.
But how many make it there in the Philippines? Nobody's ever become a unicorn.
Yes.
But the real game in this whole journey is you don't want to be a unicorn because unicorns are mythological. They do not exist.
Yeah.
And it's rare when it happens.
Mhm.
But every single one of us has a chance to become a camel.
A camel.
So what is a
Okay.
camel?
Okay.
A camel is built to last in the desert.
Yeah. Mm.
Doesn't matter what type of sand dunes it goes
Yeah.
through, what extremes it goes through. It will plow through regardless, and it will reach the
Mm.
promised land.
Yeah.
That's what we strive to be. So yes, you're absolutely correct. It can be very lonely.
Yeah.
But once you reach the promised land, sometime along the way, when you reach a little oasis,
Mm.
you will see other camels there.
Yeah.
The name of the oasis is Villgro in your part.
Buti pa ikaw, Camel. Ako naisip ko,
Ayan.
Cockroach kami.
I was gonna say the same thing. I read an article.
I also-
Don't be a unicorn, be a cockroach.
No, I understand. We were a cockroach for a long time.
Okay.
But I said, do I really want to be a unicorn? Because only the VCs want you to become a unicorn anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's where they make the return. But the real businesses that really make it till the end that are built to last, not a
Mhm.
one and done,
Yeah.
are camels.
That's a new one. Yeah.
Diba?
First
'Cause,
time I heard
okay,
that.
cockroach is survival mode. Don't die.
Yeah.
I even have an acronym, JDFD, just don't fucking die.
Okay.
All right, that's it. Live to
Yeah.
die another day.
Yeah.
Ayan. Pero when you graduate from being a cockroach and you find sustainability, do you still want to be a unicorn after going through being a cockroach?
Yeah.
Because being a cockroach, you know what also a cockroach wants, what everybody wants for a cockroach to do? When you see a cockroach, what do people want to do with you?
Kill it.
They want you to die.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I felt. Nah, they want you to die. Now I really fully understood who are my active friends that want us and irrationally help us out.
Yeah.
In your case, that's Villgro. I have
Yeah.
my broskies to help us out. Other founders
Yeah.
who really go out of our way to help out. Because it's easy to be everybody's friend.
Yes.
When somebody can approach us, hey, I want to have a podcast, bro. But motherfuckers on my tab.
Yeah.
But when shit hits the fan, are they help to help us? No, they're the first one to throw us out the boat. I don't want to be surrounded by people who's like that. I don't want to be
Yeah.
used
Mm.
for it. Because now the people that I know will really help us out are the ones who have been there all along. When everybody was trying to stomp on us
Yeah.
because we were a cockroach. But now we grew a hump at the
Love
back.
that.
A big fucking hump that can carry a lot of weight
Well-
and go through the desert. Try stepping on us now.
Yeah.
We're a camel.
Love that.
We will plow through you, okay? We will smother you with our laway.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
but that's the thing, and that's the power of having your tribe. Because you'll gravitate towards that
Yeah.
easily. Nah. Okay, you're going through the same pains because as entrepreneurs, there's very, very few of us who can understand. But I can see the look in your eyes. Oh shit, I know you didn't sleep a few nights ago. I know the payroll problem is going through your head. Only a few of
Yes.
us understand that. And
Yeah.
sometimes the easiest, and trust me when I say this, the easiest way sometimes to just think of it na ayoko na. I'll just go.
Promise.
Empleyado na lang ako.
Why
Balik
are
na ako.
you worrying about payroll? Diba? Diba? I don't want to go through that anymore.
Yeah.
But still, again, the reason why we do this is because it's irrational.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the money.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the fame. And it's bigger than everything else. So I wish I had more time, but I have one last question I have for you. Don't usually pull this out.
Okay.
But I love your origin stories and how far you've come. But this is not the end game.
Mm.
Nasa desert pa tayo. You're growing your hump too.
Okay.
But if I lent you the keys to the Hustleshare Timemachine and you had the opportunity to talk to the younger version of you in the slums
Love it.
when you were trying to make ends meet before your debut money,
Mm.
what would you tell yourself, Juvien? What would be for you?
I think for me, start early. Take that risk right away. Because you will learn a lot. Doesn't matter if you fail, you'll still end up learning something. Back then I was just like a normal student. Like I go
Right.
to school, learn stuff, go back home. But if I'm going to talk to myself again, is really like take risk much earlier in your life.
I love it. Pam?
I'm gonna be quite technical about mine because if I could talk to my younger self, especially at the peak of financial crisis, I would say
Iiyak ba tayo dyan?
learn about technical nga eh.
Okay.
Learn financial management really, really well. And why would I say this? Because if you come from a financial crisis or let's say yun nga yung background natin lahat, diba? Meron akong kinary na financial trauma throughout my whole entrepreneur life that the grants kept coming in, but like I was like, why are we still in the same place? Because I kept making bad financial decisions. And I feel like if wala ako ng financial trauma and I had better financial management, ang laki-laki na siguro ng PAMMÉ.
Correct.
So, very technical ako doon, but I feel like madami akong naiwasan na problem if I didn't have this financial trauma that I carried since I was young.
Totally agree. I love that
Yeah.
answer because I totally agree too. And this is how we made it. This is how we turned from cockroach to become a camel. The game of entrepreneurship is a game of cash flow.
Yes.
Cash is king.
Yes.
Diba? If you run out of it, I don't care how good you think you are.
Yes.
I don't care how great your product is.
Mm.
If you cannot pay bills, if you cannot pay your guys, if you cannot
Yes.
have the lifeblood, you're dead. Game
Yes.
over. And if you're able to create financial decisions that are based not on impulse, but based on what's logical,
Yes.
what's frugal, and what will set you up and not make home runs swings. And that's why a lot of the biggest businesses here are thriving because they're the kings of cash flow.
Yeah.
And again, they're built to last. They're the biggest camels in town.
Yes, correct.
They're not after the
Agree.
flash. They didn't go,
Mm.
they didn't flash there overnight. The ones that actually just go there and skyrocket overnight are the most susceptible to this. Because they're on the unicorn trajectory.
Yeah.
But unicorns, I don't know if you remember what happened to Icarus.
Yes. Too
When
close
Icarus
to the
flew
sun.
with his unicorn too close to the sun,
Yeah.
what happened to him? He fell down.
Yeah.
The ones that are built to last. Sorry, I'm biased now because I've been through shit.
Yeah.
Are camels.
Mm.
Okay, and
I
you
love
guys
that
are
so much.
cockroach turning into camel. You're probably camels now. You just don't even know it.
Baby camel.
Camelets. Oh, there you go. But again, thank you so much, guys, so much for such an amazing episode. But before I let you go, please invite people over to check you out if they want to work with you. I know, sharing it to the universe.
Yes.
Where do they go and how do they do that, Pam?
Yes, for us, just follow us on Instagram. It's the PAMMÉ, THE.PAMME. And our website is also thepamme.com. And our upcoming pop-ups will be, again, in Artefino, Rockwell, end of July.
Yeah, man.
And
After you buy a Rolex.
Yes.
Ayan. Alam na. Okay.
yeah, and we're open for your custom orders as well. Just give us a call. Thank you.
All right, Juvien.
Yes, so I'd like to invite you to visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/dwaste.solutions. That's also our website, dwaste.solutions. We're looking for team members. We're looking for volunteers among communities. If you think like you can make a change in your community, join us. We'd be glad to help you out.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. But before I let you go, follow us whenever podcast app you're listening to, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. And if you do like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe na rin. Okay? Because again, those help us to prepare and create better content like this as well. But if we did say some jargon, it's going to be the show notes on hustleshare.com. And just like Villgro, if you want to support Hustleshare and doing premium content like this, please do help us out and subscribe at premium.hustleshare.com. Guys, again, thank you very much.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
and I'll see you guys
much
in
for
the next
having
episode.
us.
Peace. Thank you so much for watching Hustleshare on YouTube. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel to get more content like this. And to get the full audio episodes of Hustleshare and Founders Only, subscribe to our podcasts at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.